Oh yeah, man. Tell me you're liking the twid gear in the corner and the main screen. It's the cleanest clothing you've ever seen. I like this stuff, man. I like this a lot. A lot. How are we? Good evening. Let you folks mill about. My name is Doug Rice. That is who I am. Getting more accustomed to doing these lives, trying to get all the kinks out, if you understand my meaning. We're at 5 o'clock in the evening where I am, and I am in Phoenix, Arizona. I do appreciate you showing up. It's 5 p.m. straight up. If you're just getting off work, please drive safe, ride safe. Just put me on and put me in your pocket and just, tune me right in, and there you should lock it. All right, that's enough. So this is the Doug Rice Show, brought to you by Twidwear. Oh, look at there, man. It's looking good, isn't it? I like it. I like it. Yeah, Twidwear. That's what I do. I say it. That's what I do. I say it. I realize why I've been doing this for as long as I've been doing this, and my numbers have remained kind of the same. And it's not because a lack of interest. It's just the lack of interest in honesty to such the degree that I deliver it at 1,000,000 miles an hour, uncut, unfettered, unedited. And I have been accused by some of just saying it. You just say it. You know what? That's what I do. Well, yes, that's what I do, the Twidwear moniker. And folks, please, if you go to twidwear.com, you're not just going to find sportswear. You're not just going to find athletic apparel. You're not just going to find high quality sneakers and footwear. You're also going to have skincare to choose from. Twidwear skincare is the epitome of skincare for the Negro skin there. And beware any that don't have too many of our interests at heart. And just remember, when you're buying skincare, don't forget that part. Whoa, that's a nice landing. That was square. And there it is right there. Today, we got some, I don't know, I'm just going to kind of freestyle my way through this a little bit because I've come up on too much information. I have stumbled on a receptacle or of information. Thrown in this receptacle is the truth. And those throwers of truth happen to be Jews. Hey, I didn't say I couldn't lose, but no, just because I say so, you don't have to take my word for it. I want to show you a few things that you can't ignore it. I like that. I think I landed well there as well. So let's take a look at this publication. It's an online publication, and it's really not for our kind, but if you understand my point, this is the Times of Israel. Times of Israel. It is it's a very, very interesting read. I'm going to go to the home page because that's what I was trying to get to. So the Times of Israel, we have to understand, if they're keeping track of what's going on in their land, day 39, as you can see up here, all right? But there are a lot of interesting tidbits of information in here. That's what we're going to go through today. We're going to talk about it. We're going to go away. I'm just joking. We're going to really delve into some of the headlines. Now, we already know the slant is toward their kind, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but we also understand that with the small hats, there comes a bit of confusion because they try to infuse their own kind of delusion. Now, I'm not biting my tongue, but that bell has rung. You can't unring the bell of truth. Let's talk about it first. Leaked report. Israel acknowledges Jews, in fact, Khazars. Secret plan for reverse migration to Ukraine. Now, I didn't write this. You know what I'm saying? This is from the Times of Israel. I don't know how real can get coming from Israel, and yet there it is. To such the extent that I will throw the link into chat just for that. Boom, there it is. If you don't believe me, go read it yourself. Leaked report, Israel acknowledges Jews, in fact, Khazar's secret plan to reverse migration to Ukraine. I'm just going to read a little bit of it just to see what they're saying. Fast-breaking developments. Followers of Middle Eastern affairs know two things. Always expect the unexpected and never write off Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has more political lives than the proverbial cats. Oh, this is something else. They just got it like that. So I think I'll just read this. Now it says it's a work of satire. Now, when did they add that? That really took me for a loop. That one got me there. But let me ask you a question. Why would they want to put satire in this direction? Now, that's a bit of interesting information now that I have it in front of you, nation. You know, I try not to read too far ahead because I want to be as surprised as you are, and preparing for the dread, you know, for whatever comes next. But now this might be something else they're trying to protect. I'm going to look into this. Our Russian and Ukrainian correspondent Hertz Ostopoler and IZ contributed to the story, delayed to the crisis over in the Korean. So what they've done is they've made this some kind of, you know, some kind of headline that you want to look at, and then of course they don't report on it. That's a little bit too close to home. Somebody pulled the plug on that. I'm going to go ahead and admit that. Somebody pulled the plug on that. No, I didn't read ahead. I don't mind. And the news story is dead, but there's more. That was a bait and switch. Let's see what else they might be able to stitch. That kind of, I don't know, that was weird, wasn't it? Why would they do that? Why would they put something so inflammatory right in the face of those looking for it? Is it to kind of tell a lie about the truth? I think that's how sinister this whole thing has become. Now, I just want to know why that story they didn't run. I want to see that story. I do want to see that story. Now, this one hopefully is not satire, and I'm going to look into this one closely. Abbas, this is something Abbas said. Ashkenazi Jews are not Semites. Hitler killed them for their social role. Not something I said. Certainly wasn't my goal to inflame anybody's name, but Abbas repeating anti-Semitic canards he'd previously invoked. Palestinian leader claims European anti-Semitism the result of not enmity toward Jews, but their role as moneylenders. What is that not? How is that not true? How do we not know the origins of the Jew? I don't know. In recent speech, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas repeated a number of anti-Semitic canards he has made over the years, including unfounded claims about the origins of Ashkenazi Jews and the Nazi dictator Adolf Hitler had Jews slaughtered because their social role as moneylenders, not because of enmity toward Judaism. But let me ask you this question. Where does the enmity toward Judaism come from? I don't understand it. If that's not what it is, then what is it? Can you explain? Because I think what they're really trying to say is that it's just hate, and you know, an inanimate object of hate applied to Jews as they berate the watered down news. But it ain't too late. We can see exactly what they're saying about these individuals, and they're not playing. Look. The truth that we should clarify to the world is that European Jews are not Semites, Abbas said, according to a translation of his remarks by the East Media Research Institute. They have nothing to do with Semitism. This man spoke truth. He said what he said. And what I'm really focused on as I read is that there's no really contradiction to this kind of predilection. They don't really give any counter offering in kind. They just want you to kind of use your mind to think it's just their hate. These are unfounded accusations that they are Ashkenazi Jews, that they did not descend from ancient Israelites, but an ancient Turkish people known as the Khazars, who, according to a discredited theory, converted to Judaism en masse. Where is it discredited? Where has this theory been discredited that the Jewish converts occupying both Ukraine and Israel, if you know what I'm saying, are not Khazars. Where is it contradicted? Where has it been disproven? Because I've not seen that anywhere. I ain't seen that anywhere. I've looked, folks. Let me explain how this started today. I really was just going about my way trying to get from them the truth, and I can't get the truth. They just say it's not true. That's it. And they're through. They're not, you just can't say something is discredited without connoting the discreditation, if you will. Tried to make that word up, right? Yet and still use it. You simply can't say it's not true. The fact that this man says that Jews, Ashkenazi converts from Khazaria by the order of King Bulan, that is not something that I go on and on and on about. That's something that's obviously true. That's the origin of the Ashkenazi Jew, period. There's no contradiction there. I've not seen it. I haven't read it anywhere. So, on with the show. All right, I want you to like, subscribe, and share. Do all of the things that you see. Uh-oh, where is it? Uh-oh, down there. All right. Now, again, this man publicly spoke these words. Obviously, he spoke them on the 15th of May, 2023, and here's what he had to say. Again, listen to me. The truth is that we should clarify to the world, European Jews are not Semites. European Jews are not Semites. That's what it says. And that's according to a translation by this man. They have nothing to do with Semitism. And the reason they won't get any further than that topic is because they know that Negroes will pick up the mic and then drop it. Right. So when we hear them talk about Semitism and anti-Semitism, the Ashkenazi Jews, at least, are not Semites. Abbas has previously claimed publicly the Ashkenazi Jews are the descendants of Khazars, including a 2018 speech in which he charged that Jews' social behavior caused the Holocaust, another assertion he reiterated. Notice there's no pushback. There's no fact that he lends to make some kind of amends. There's nothing. He doesn't even pretend that he has something to say in aversion to what he said that day. All right, so let's go from here. How about this one? Netanyahu is reported to have said that to say the legal system is based on the Talmud. Now, we have looked together, you and I, the specious reckonings in the Talmud, the assertions of belief. I don't think I have to go over what they believe against what is thought in biblical terms to be God's law. Certain things about murder, about keeping your word, about, sex with minors, a few other things in the Talmud. Does anybody read the Talmud? Does anybody read the Talmud? I don't understand. Only Jews seem to read the Talmud and get into the details, the weeds of the whole deal, but not the general public, and they won't know how people feel. That's an ominous sign that as part of a proposed legislation to enshrine Israel's status as a Jewish state, the Israeli court system would be based on the Talmudic law, where they can spit on people that aren't Jewish. Do you know these clowns walk up and down spitting on people? Well, what do we got next? I don't know. What else? Never mind the Bible. It's the sanity of the Talmud you need to understand the world and yourself. Really, the Jewish Talmud, this is what they want you to use, you and me. They want us to use the Jewish Talmud as a way to, just get the word out and how you should live in the world. I've read some things in the Talmud that don't square with me very well. I don't know about you guys, but damn. If you've gone over any of the shows that I've done, you know what the Talmud says. I'm not even going to go there. For me, it's a little bit. All right, so here's something. So you want to talk about things that these folks do. So you want to talk about the practices of the Jew. Now, here in New York City, Orthodox Jews clash over oral circumcision rite. Do you folks know what oral circumcision rite is? Because I'm going to tell you what it looks like is exactly what you think it is. Oral circumcision. City warns of risk of metziza pia after multiple herpes cases, but rabbis insist There's no danger. So let me give you the 411 because I know you may be a stranger to their practices. So obviously, oral circumcision is exactly what it is. And the children have been found infected with herpes after that nasty biz. You better understand that this is what it is right here. This is how do you jive and equal that practice with civility and normal people? How would you accept anybody doing that in any way, shape, or form to any child for any reason whatsoever? I don't understand and don't have a clue. But it's acceptable if you're a Jew. And you can call this whatever you want. I'm only pointing out from their own publications, the things that face their Jewish nation. And this isn't me talking, this is them. Okay? This is not me talking, this is them. With a swipe of his scalpel, Rabbi A. Roman Cohen circumcises the baby boy, then leans down and sucks the blood from the wound as prayers in Hebrews fill the Brooklyn synagogue. You think that shit's normal? I don't even give a damn if it is. I think that's some pagan, heathen, Judaistic bull. No, I don't care. And there it is right there. That, to me, folks, speaks volumes about these jokes. I'm going to continue on. I don't want to be on too long. But here's one. No, it's coming on a little too strong. Boom. Rabbi night DNA test seek Jewishness in the blood become a bone of contention. Controversial method began in Moscow, spread to Jerusalem and Sydney as a private bid to confirm ex-Soviets as Jews. Now it faces a high court challenge and a thunderous outcry. I wonder what they've found out about their goddamn selves. I wonder. 2 ink-smudged Soviet-era documents were the only official proofs that they had of their Jewishness. The rest was a memory of ash. So they approached a rabbinical court in the central city of Bonn that came under happy circumstances to obtain a verification of their Jewishness as part of a marital license. That's what these two did. Dinara Heya Istelo and her mother, Gilia Rosendorf, immigrants to Israel. They left in tears. Their evidence deemed a brazen forgery. A higher rabbinical court confiscated the papers and later fined them $2,000 as a penalty. Let me say you something, folks. They're trying to protect what they stole with every breath that they have. They know the value of being God's set apart, of being known as a chosen of God Almighty, as being, that. They know it. And so, everything that's done to prove that someone's a Jew, they take and put under scrutiny so that you can't slide in just under the wire. Because they know that being of Hebrew blood is something to admire, but it is blood. It's not something that can be passed on from one tribe to another. Needless to say, the Jews of Ashkenazi are not Negroes' brother. So, they are certainly in some kind of way about blood tests, aren't they? Yes, they are. This here ends badly, I can imagine. You can imagine what happened. I'm going to just keep going because I want to keep rapping. I'm sorry. I just don't like the fact where that, that's what happened. All right, how about this one? Huh? Can you see that one? Huh? And I'm gone. Netanyahu reveals his roots go back to Spain. Wow. Prime Minister says his DNA checked on his brother shows some of his family thought to be of Eastern European extraction goes back to the Iberian Peninsula. I bet it does. I bet it goes back to white Spaniards. This man is a European. He has nothing to do with any kind of Middle Eastern, if you will, bloodline. He certainly has nothing to do with the royal line of Negroes. In fact, can you imagine, as his brother was killed during the raid on Entebbe, what he thinks of black skin? He's not letting black Negroes in. This is going to be corrected by the hand of God Almighty. As you can see, these creatures are much too strong to take on rightly. And I never and will never, ever give any indication that you should do anything at all to the Jewish nation. I don't want you to lift a finger. Don't even look in their direction. And that I say for your Negro protection. Don't you go near these Neanderthals. Don't you go near them in any way. You hear me? And I hope you understand what I say. They are as violent a group of individuals as they can get. And they're not even half done with the Palestinians yet. That's who they are. They are a barbaric, warlike group of white people that come from European Khazaria. The only time they have ever been expelled or driven from their homeland is when the Prince of Ukraine conquered these Judaistic converts by the order of King Bulan. That is who this man descends from. That is who this man is. Netanyahu is not a Hebrew. He's a Jew. That's it. That's as far as it goes. And he can take his hell-bent nose elsewhere because he's not a Jew in any sense anywhere, not a Hebrew. You know what I meant. It bothers me. It does. That's why I won't relent. And all of this comes from the times of Israel. Netanyahu reveals his roots go back to Spain. He's a fucking European. You hear what I'm saying? He's a white man. And the only thing that this conflict in the Middle East is the last gasp of colonialistic white control of an area they do not belong in. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. It won't end well. It certainly won't. The Bible is the one to tell. All right, what else? Oh, I thought this might hit you hard. I wanted to save this for last, but damn it. Oh, well, the time has passed. Ashkenazi Jews descend from 350 goddamned people. That's it. That's it! 350 goddamn people. You think these people are Hebrews? You think these people are Jews? You think they are the jewels of God? Let me read something to you about these creatures so that you understand why they're looked at so odd. First, this was in the desert for 40 years. This hid among black Egyptians. This what you're looking at. This stuck its hand in its tunic and pulled it out and turned. What did it turn? That? Come on. A new study concludes that all Ashkenazi Jews, all of them, can trace their ancestry to a bottleneck of 350 individuals dating back to between 600 and 800 damn years ago. Shall we? What? Court adjourned? Are we done? Are we finished with? Well, did you hear that? This is who these people are. They have armed these malevolent, vile creatures to the teeth, and they're not even the people they claim to be. They're not even the people whose fame you see. They're not us. They're not Negroes. They're nothing even close to Hebrews. They are European white people. Let's read. The study, published in the Nature Communication Journal Tuesday, was authored by Shai Karmi, a computer science professor at Columbia University, and more than 20 medical researchers from Yale, Columbia, Yeshivas University, Albert Einstein's College of Medicine, Memorable, Sloan Kettering Cancer Society, Hebrews University of Jerusalem, and other institutions. Whoa! So they did their homework, and they have bona fides. Researchers analyzed the genomes of 128 Ashkenazi Jews, compared them to those of non-Jewish Europeans in order to determine which genetic markers are unique to Ashkenazi Jews. They found that the Ashkenazi Jews' genetic similarities were so acute that one of the study's researchers, Columbia professor Itzik Pierre, told the Live Science website that among Ashkenazi Jews, everyone is a 30th cousin. I don't know. I got the rumor buzzing. What do you think? Every last one of them related to each other like redheads, like people with blue eyes. You understand how much of a closed ecosystem? Can you even surmise? Do you get it? Am I opening your eyes? Who are these people? How can you be chosen? You come from 350 people. Oh God, Christ arose. No. You are not the show. You see, and they protect their secrets to the extent that you just don't know where the truth went. All right. The findings will enable researchers to catalog all of the genetic variations from the founding population, the study authors said. Such thorough genetic cataloging could help clinicians interpret individual genetic mutations, improving disease mapping, and provide insight into the histories of Middle Eastern and European populations, the study said. The catalog of complete Ashkenazi Jewish genomes should help identify the disease-causing mutations that the progenitors of Ashkenazi Jewry they passed on. Until now, data has only been available for a small subset of common Ashkenazi DNA markers. Oh, why? Why? Because they keep their DNA closely under wraps, because they know what their DNA will say, and that is that. That's what's going on. Listen, this is a secret they can keep out in the open, because they got the whole world roping. You know, this is something they can tell all day, and I don't think too many will have so much to say. They're not the people of the book. All you got to do is take a gentle look. They're not the people of the book. They're not God's chosen. You know, they're not. They are converts, and there is absolutely nothing that can defray that situation. And it is a word, defray. Look it up. Listen to what I say. All right, here we go. Our study is the first full DNA sequence data set available for Ashkenazi Jewish genomes, said Itzhak Pierre. With this comprehensive catalog of mutations present in the Ashkenazi Jewish population, we will be able to more effectively map disease genes onto the genome and thus gain a better understanding of common disorders. Wow. We see this study serving as a vehicle for personalized medicine and a model for researching, working with other populations. Wouldn't you, I'm sorry, you don't see it? There it is right there. All right, wouldn't you expect that they would be the epitome of genetic superiority? Oh no, we're going to go there. You need to hear this. You know, hey, Netanyahu, Netanyahu, you and all your cabinet, hey, all you Jewish folks that are out here talking about you're the chosen people of God. I find that claim a bit odd. And I'll tell you why I find it a little odd. You're sure a sickly bunch. You hear me? Don't you play games with me. You tell me you're God's chosen people. Really? Genetically, you would think, you would surmise that God's chosen people would be superior in your eyes. Oh no, not in their eyes. See? Not in their eyes. You see, superiority and blessing and being a special possession, that shouldn't be the sole and only obsession of those who have that claim set upon them. It should also be a claim that's professed by others. If you understand, I have my druthers. Yeah, I'm not playing. You hear what I'm saying? You're supposed to be superior. You're genetically flawed. You are. You absolutely are. I mean, everyone's genetically flawed, but you're not genetically superior. You're genetically recessive in every respect. And let me tell you where it begins, because, you know, your ego, I'm not here to protect. Your red hair, your blonde hair, your blue eyes, your white skin, that's about the sin that did all of you in. You understand? The RH negative nature of your existence is what gives me pause and little resistance to your claim of fame of being God's chosen. My opinion on you not being so is so frozen. Locked in place. We're done. Get out of my face. You're not the one. You're not the true Jews. You're not the Jews of God. Let's continue. I'm going to be going on for a minute. Let's see. Sorry. So Ashkenazi Jews are known to have origins in the Levant, which Israel is smack dab in the middle of, but exactly who European Ashkenazi Jews are has long been debated. Interesting. An analysis of the gene database shows that the original Ashkenazi Jews were about half European and half Middle Eastern. They lived in the medieval era about 600 to 800 years ago, according to the analysis, and numbered just about 350 or so people. Now, you know where they're trying to go, but we know just so they know. So our analysis shows that Ashkenazi Jewish medieval founders were ethnically admixed with origins in Europe and in the Middle East, roughly in equal parts, said Shai Kamri, a postdoctoral scientist who works with Pierre and conducted the analysis. The data are more comprehensive than was previously available, and we believe the data settle the dispute regarding Europe and Middle Eastern ancestry in Ashkenazi Jews. Whoops, looks like they lose. Looks like they lose. So, and let me go back here a little bit, because it says the analysis also suggests that today's Europeans are descended primarily from migrants from the Middle East after the last ice age about 20,000 years ago, not from the first humans to arrive to the continent about 40,000 years ago. Really, it suggests that. Now, I want you to know where they're trying to slant. They're trying to slant themselves into the Middle East, but we know they come from the shelves of the Caucasus Mountains, to say the least. Interesting, but because the Ashkenazi community started out so small and remained genetically isolated, it developed a higher load of disease-causing mutations. These are the superior people that occupy the Israeli nation. Even today, Ashkenazi Jews are known to be at higher risk for what? Many diseases, including breast and ovarian cancer, Tay-Sachs disease, but many potentially disease-causing Ashkenazi mutations remain unknown. These are the superior Jews who say they can't lose. These are the folks that fill the ranks of the folks who want to give such thanks for being Jews in the first place, but damn, they're sickly race. I'm going to stop. That says a lot. I mean, we read quite a bit there. Ashkenazi descends from 350 people. So, and let me just end this with this little tidbit. I don't know if I'll end. I don't know. I might do something else. Who knows? So the foreign ministry, this is Abbas. Now, remember what Abbas said about Jews, about the folks that he is sitting there in the face with. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meets with the Palestinian Authority and President Mahmoud Abbas during the state funeral, late Shimon Peres, 30 September 2016. Now, as he's looking him in the face, you need to understand he's putting him in his place. Because he knows as he looks at him that he's not who he says he is. He said it later on down the line. It's kind of interesting. So, and what do we find in this headline? Netanyahu, Abbas peddles the most contemptible anti-Semitic slogans. What does he say? He says he's a Holocaust denier. I don't deny the Holocaust, folks. That I will not deny. I mean, maybe 6 million of them went bye-bye. I don't know. But I more or less would more like to know why they wanted to rid themselves of the Jews in the first place. And please don't tell me it's hate, because I'm sick of that excuse getting thrown in my face. It's ridiculous. Interesting. So he just refuses the poison of he infuses the poison of anti-Semitism with truth. That is what he says. He literally talks about the truth. We don't have to go over what he said to him to his face. But it's interesting, as long as we're on this page, they always say what they say about Jews is a lie. They always say, that what's asserted should just slide by. But why don't you bring some receipts yourself? I don't understand this. Let me tell you something what happened just a few days ago. Maybe we'll open it up to guests. Who knows? I'm going to take a poll and see if people want to join me on the show. But just yesterday, I watched Brother Dalton as a guest, and he talked about the lawsuit, and I believe it was in Australia or South Africa, but one of those places, South Africa it might have been. And it involved the Jews attempting to prevent the showing of Hebrews to Negroes 3. And the interesting part about it is that the IDL, the Israeli Defense League, I guess, what is it? Whatever, IDL. They, along with Mr. Greenblatt, the CEO, who has been, he's been the author of a bunch of trash in different areas. I could read all the proposals that he has and him to fill the need to hold on to what he stole. His rhetoric is real old, and he won't answer me on Twitter, but anyway, so It's interesting that they have no really, they have nothing to give back. They have nothing that they can say in response to the things being said about them. There's no counter. Okay? Now, I probably lost my train of thought, but I don't mind. I want to know if you guys will find it interesting to come on the show with me. And if you do, I will put the link in the description. But only if you are interested in coming on. And while I find my thought, I'm going to put it right here. If anybody wants to join me, do so. Understand you are coming on the Doug Rice Show, so you know I am not a chill bro. Okay, that's for sure. Anyway, what I was saying, if anybody wants to come on, they don't really confront what's being asserted. And where I was at was Brother Dalton. Thank you. They itemized over 70 points against the release of this movie and what it would do to Jews. And they filed a court paper, I believe, in South Africa, and boy, did they lose. Because Brother Dalton had to go line by line, item by item, and contradict every point that the Jewish defenders, the ADL, the IDL, the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, thank you, anyway, that they sought to have his film put down. But let me just say this, folks. They ended up looking like a clown because they literally, they contradicted every assertion made by the ADL contrary to the release of the film. And boy, did it sell. The judge ruled in his favor, in Dalton's favor. I don't know what to become of it. I might have some sort of, they might appeal. But I like that the determination was real. Now, fast forward that to Farrakhan. He intends to sue the ADL, or he has sued them, I think for about $4 billion. Now, let me tell you what Brother Dalton said yesterday on the show. Brother Dalton said, he invited Mr. Farrakhan to call him as a witness for the lawsuit, as he has detailed, itemized, line by line, every assertion against what the Jews say are reasons that this movie and these series should be pulled from Amazon, pulled from all sorts of movie theaters around the world. Listen, the truth is out about these beings. And here's what folks are starting to see. What they're starting to see is there's no counter argument. There's always denial. They say that they have put to bed this Khazarian story told about them rolling around in their head. And I've not seen a single counter argument be said. Nothing. I'm looking. Why do you think I wound up on this particular site? So that's about it, folks. I mean, I could go on. They are not the people of the book, and they certainly won't be considered the people for too long. What they're doing over in the Palestinian area, is indicative of why they are hunted and given no peace in the first place. Right now, it almost appears that their true face is showing. And it only took a nudge enough to expose them for what they are, and also their true intent. One only need peer just slightly closely at the Talmud, closely at the practices, closely at, good Lord, I can't even say it, oral, circumcision. Oral circumcision alone should have you question whether they should even have their own home. And I'm not even going to pull that one back because that's on track. They armed these people to the teeth after being nearly genocided. And so now, 1,500 of them getting killed, and they get murdered in a state of full foreknowledge that could have happened. I mean, they look at Hamas and they call them a threat and a hate group, but when they do something hateful, then they act surprised and indignant. It's interesting, they sat their lily white asses in the middle of the Middle East claiming to be, to be, native to that land. And a simple investigation into the Ashkenazi Jewish converts will give you a clear indication that they did not come from that land. They came from the Caucasus Mountains. They came from where they're from, Europe. So that's about it. All right. Well, I'm good. 5:39. I'm trying to practice and keep my voice in shape because I want to be doing this as a broadcast all day. And I do appreciate you all listening to what I say. I can keep going. I can talk through this. But I got another show coming up and I don't want you to miss it. I'm just kidding. I do have one pre-recorded. Hey, while I'm on it. We do have a great show coming up this evening at 7 my time, which is about an hour and 20 minutes from now. And the show is going to feature a young brother. His name is Jason Sanders. He's an RN, been an RN for 20 years. And he is going to share with us for about 15 minutes or so the perils facing Negroes as they go into these medical establishments in the healthcare system. And it's a short that is the beginning of a series that we're going to do involving a lot of different items within the healthcare field. Also, we'll be expanding this show to include a bunch of other different interests that Negroes may have, even the real estate industry. I have somebody online for that. We're going to have the folks that developed the skincare products for Twidware. We'll have that as well. But the one interview I'm waiting for, you know what it is. I am waiting for you to meet Twid. Twid is our sponsor. And without him, we would not be on the air. But we're holding on by a thread, all of us, just right there. So I need you to please give him some of your attention. And I might as well show you who the Twidware is while I mention. I just want you guys to understand that this is done through a lot of effort. This is the Twidware line. I've shown you a few of these photos. We're going to get some updated photos as well. But if you do like this effort, I do appreciate it. Appreciate your support. I have Twidware right there. Let me go ahead and drink. I forgot I can take myself off without you guys not hearing me. All right. So there's twidware.com. Go to twidware.com right now on your phone. Twidware.com. Buy something. Help support them. By supporting Twid, you not only support a woke brother, very nice brother. I mean, I've interacted with him, very nice dude. And you also support this show, The Doug Rice Show. You also purchase clothes that are extremely durable, high quality. And we got shoes as well. Please don't forget about the Twid Pack. Let me tell you about the Twid Pack while I'm at it. The Twid Pack is, look at that, I took myself off. The Twid Pack is $149 delivered anywhere in the continental United States. You get a hoodie, like the hoodie that I was wearing earlier. You get a shirt. You get a pair of boxing shorts. More importantly, you get a pair of nice shoes. Shoes with the Twidware logo. And the Twidware logo, that acronym stands for That's What I Do. Now, what do I do? I talk. I talk a lot. I can talk and talk and talk. I've been at this for 35 years, talking to people, talking about people, talking with people. So I want to put it to good use. I've learned a lot of things. I study incessantly, and I need your support. So use TDRS as a promo code. Go to twidware.com. Make it your abode. All right, there we go. I'm so glad I made it through that. All right, folks, here we go. Off with the jokes. I'm about done at the end of the show. We've had an exciting day today. We've done quite a few lives, and we'll get up tomorrow morning and try to do it again. And I do appreciate your attention. All right, that is that. All right, hey, you guys take it easy. I did put the invite on. Doesn't matter, and gotta build the audience. Like, subscribe, share. That's what I've got. Like, subscribe, share. Like, subscribe, share. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Do all the things that can pump up the algorithms of this effort if you appreciate what I do. You're the only family I have, and thank you so much for being here. You guys have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. My name is Doug Rice. I am out of here. You know, again, folks, I say it because that's what I like that one. You guys have a good one. Thanks so much for tuning in.